Back to the Brunch Channel. I am Musaliki Sepulveda. Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen is a multifaceted annual hip hop event designed to showcase women artists, especially women of color. Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen serves as a social justice community organizing platform that educate, empower women on issues that impact their lives, including HIV, AIDS, and reproductive justice. Here to tell us more is co-founder Kathleen Adams. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Osaliki.
What is the mission of Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen?
So with Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen, our mission is to change the way that people view women, especially women of color in hip hop. Instead of seeing just negative portrayals of women in the media, we want to provide an alternative by providing a safe space, a free concert essentially, for families and young people in the community to attend and see positive images of women. So be through DJs, MCs, B-girls, graffiti artists, spoken word poets. It really doesn't matter the form. We just want to provide the space.
And who came up with this concept of Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen?
Well, as my business partner, Latere, and I, it was about over 5 years ago now. We were really frustrated with the way that women were being portrayed in the media. You really only saw like women taking their clothes off, and at the time, Don Imus came out with his nappy-headed hose comment regarding the Rutgers University basketball team. And so all the talking heads on TV were talking about women and women's bodies, but no one on TV looked like us, looked like women of color. So we said, okay, how can we use hip-hop, which both she and I love, she's a female MC and I'm a hip-hop organizer, bring people together at the same time to also lower the rates of HIV/AIDS in the Bronx. At the time, I was a student at Fordham University, and you know, hip hop was created in the South Bronx, so we wanted to use our love of hip hop and also our desire to create community change to create an event, and so it's called Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen. People ask us, well, why Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen? It's kind of a metaphor. Women congregate in the kitchen and talk about ideas and have conversations. So we're creating like a kitchen-like conversation on a stage, and that's why it's called Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen, because we're talking about issues through music.
And how many events have Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen done so far?
Well, we always have our annual events. So we've done 5 annual events so far. 4 of them have been at Hostos, which we were very excited about. And we've also done about 5 or 6 college tours as well, and also smaller workshops throughout the United States and also on an international level in Berlin, Germany.
And how does the audience respond to these events?
The audience loves it. It's a packed house. Our first year, we thought it was going to be a one-time thing. So when we were looking for space, we thought, oh, maybe 75 people were going to come. Over 500 plus people came our first year. And because we were invited into Hostos' space, we were able to grow. So every year we have over 1,000 plus people come in and out for our annual daily event. Our college tours have different numbers depending upon the size of the college, and workshops are more intimate due to the nature of community organizing and community workshops.
And how many people does it take to create this event?
Oh, it takes a lot. It's just Latere and I, we're the co-founders, but we have a great volunteer team. So we have volunteer photographers. Our artists, you know, are really donating their time because it's really a day-long event for our annual event. We have volunteers helping man the tables in the lobby at Hostos. So we have community organizations also come and table at the event to provide HIV/AIDS in terms of free confidential testing and also provide free resources. So to manage the logistics of what's going on in the lobby takes a lot of volunteer work as well.
March 2012, the title of your latest event was Be the Cure. Mm-hmm. You addressed the issue of women's health. How bad is this issue in the South Bronx?
It's horrible. Women, not just women, but communities are dying. The South Bronx is the poorest congressional district within the United States. But when you think about it, Manhattan is, New York City is the wealthiest city within the United States, and the South Bronx is part of New York City. So why is it that people are suffering in the South Bronx? Well, you see millionaires and billionaires in Manhattan living like a luxury life. We want to say people need to take care of their lives and start curing themselves from within. So last year, Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen Volume 4 was Let's Get Active. We're saying, okay, well, let's get active. Let's let's work out, let's eat healthy, you know, let's have an energetic lifestyle. And now this year we're saying with Volume 5, be the cure. How can you cure yourself? Being active is great, but you need to think about curing yourself as well. So is that slowing down your lifestyle and taking time to reflect and meditate? Or is it, you know, really searching out for healthy alternatives? We really want to put the focus point back on health issues in the South Bronx because of this. Not only on the, in terms of nutritional health, we're talking about sexual health as well. I believe that the South Bronx has some of the highest rates of teen pregnancy within New York State, and that's just, it's horrendous. You know, why are all these young mothers becoming teen parents at such a young age when you don't see the rates in other boroughs? Also, at the same time, in terms of asthma and obesity, people are suffering because of those issues as well. So let's use hip-hop, because hip-hop is a vehicle to create change. It was used as a political message back in the day when it was created. So we're reinventing that and bringing it back and using it to be our vehicle of change today.
What is the problem?
The problem is people aren't being educated on their issues in terms of living a healthy lifestyle. It's not easy. My business partner and I, we both have different body types, but we've both gone through nutritional challenges in terms of, you know, she had, when she moved to New York City, she was living in the Bronx, she did, because of the lifestyle she was living in terms of like access to only bodegas, and it was really hard to access fresh fruit and vegetables, she really put on a lot of pounds and got to the point where it was an issue, an obesity issue. And for myself, I actually noticed that when I moved to the South Bronx, I actually did gain a lot of weight and was having health issues as well. So for the two of us being, you know, young women in our 20s, my business partner now, she's in her early 30s, if that's an issue that we're having, obviously other people are suffering with it as well. And it's an issue that crosses socioeconomic lines and educational lines, because we're both college educated. So imagine being someone who is not college educated, who hasn't even graduated from high school, and English is not their first language. How are they going to navigate healthy options at the bodega? How are they going to navigate fresh fruit and vegetables on the street? You know, you're accustomed to the lifestyle that you live, and it's important with Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen to tie it back in and saying, we're part of a community, let's use healthy eating options to change things via hip hop.
Reproductive justice has become a very big issue. How do we tackle that?
Well, especially in the South Bronx, it's become a big issue because in the South Bronx, with the high concentration of a Latino population, especially those who are Catholic, the Catholic Church is very pro-life, obviously. And with reproductive justice, it's a new term. Everyone knows about pro-choice and when abortion rights became legal, but that movement of the women's rights movement was kind of spearheaded by Caucasian women. But over the past couple of years, women of color have actually decided to reclaim the movement and coin it with the term reproductive justice, which is a more holistic point of view, meaning the right to be a parent, the right to not be a parent, and the right to parent your child. So we're saying, okay, using that framework, how can you look at the political rhetoric that's going on, and how can you make the best decisions for your lifestyle and for your family? So we're not telling you what to do or what to think. We're telling you how can you frame these conversations so it can be applicable to your lifestyle.
And how are you going to the community and to create awareness regarding reproductive justice, about?
Well, we actually have, with our community workshops and community events, we do smaller, more intimate sessions where we talk about, okay, what is it like to be a woman today in the 21st century? What are the challenges that face us? You know, what are the messages that we encounter? And so we actually it's more of like a one-on-one, like a heart-to-heart type of thing. And so young girls and women were able to come together and like have like a session where we can let go, let flow, like let our emotions flow. So we talk about abortion and say, okay, well, I've had an abortion, this is how I feel, you know, I'm not ashamed of it. And we're providing those spaces because oftentimes in communities of color, you know, these are taboo issues, and we're saying, no, these are not taboo issues. Let's reclaim these issues and let's have some agency around these issues. So
you believe that women's rights are being taken away?
Exactly, I completely agree. Women's rights are being taken away, and people aren't aware how quickly our rights are being taken away, and so we're trying to use a popular form of expression, being hip-hop, to communicate these political messages.
And what can we do about that?
What can we do about reproductive justice or these political messages that are coming at us?
To get for women to empower themselves, you know.
Well, we need to continue having these conversations, and we need more events like Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen to occur, because after Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen, I don't really know many other organizations or events that are occurring in the South Bronx, or especially targeted towards women of color, that talk about health and reproductive justice issues. So we need to have more spaces, and we need to have more events, and that's what we would like to do. There's definitely a need, and our annual event is not enough to satisfy that need. And you know, we're happy that we do our college tours, but our college tours really take us to different communities where it's not necessarily the communities that we're organizing with. They're more, they're just, you know, communities maybe in upstate New York or in Pennsylvania or in Connecticut. And it would be best if, you know, we were able to do more things at Hostos or other colleges in New York City, or churches or community centers, so that we can really spread our message and empower young women.
And how can these women get support?
They can get support by coming to our events. Like I said, at our annual event, we do have community organizations tabling. So they provide literature and pamphlets and resources, so that if women weren't aware of say a nutritional program that was being offered for free in the South Bronx, they're able to come to our event and pick up the resources for that. And so it's really exciting that we're able to connect people with community organizations who are doing great work on the ground.
And how did Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen get the support to create this awareness?
It was really grassroots. So our first year, I did a lot of personal fundraising. And the first year, we literally, everything was donated in terms of the space, in terms of some of the materials. It was really like we had no budget at all. But once we were invited to Hostos, our budget expanded a little bit more, so we could actually offer, you know, some food for our artists and some other necessary supplies to make our event possible. Also, we do personal fundraising, and we sell T-shirts, like the T-shirt I'm wearing. So that's how we were able to support ourselves. And we tried it with our college tours, kind of kick back some of the money that we generate with our college tours to support the work that we're doing within the community.
Okay, are there any official elected in the community contributing to cover these needs?
No, and that's the thing, which I think is kind of hilarious, because I see a lot of community political members giving a lot of financial support to other types of events that aren't as well attended as Momma's Hip Hop Kitchen. So, you know, we're really doing it on our own in a grassroots effort. We'd be happy and more than open to accepting contributions from political members within the community, just as long as their political actions are aligned with our beliefs.
And if anyone wants to contact you, how can they get in touch with you?
They can check us out online at our website at www.mhhk.org. Again, it's www.mhhk.org.